Good morning and welcome. Are you ready for a fun-filled and lively start to your day as your favorite other option for dynamic duo Mazzino and MM bring you excitement, laughter, and heartwarming moments right to your living rooms?
Yes, guys, we are back to brighten up your mornings and make sure you kickstart your day with a brand new smile.
Brand new, we unpackage it every single day. We're sure to deliver a refreshing blend for you guys. Absolutely, very informative, great segments for you, heartwarming stories that are perfect for the entire family. Trust us, we put a lot of work into that.
Yes, you need to trust us, guys. Just as he has said, it's not just a show, it's a celebration of family, friendship, laughter, and the joy of starting each day on a positive note.
Yes, indeed. Let's extend that positivity to, well, hey, guess who? Mr. Mike Messicano. How you doing, man? Mike. Okay, there he is.
Okay, so yeah, Thursday, it's good to be here. Let's get this show on the road and make it happen. My name is Mike Messicano. Let's go.
Absolutely. So nobody's goldfish died, though. We didn't plan this dark thing.
Right?
It's just something that
Yeah,
happened.
it's just a coincidence, guys.
But it is said that when in doubt, use wear black.
Oh.
Very true. Absolutely. I wasn't in doubt anyway. I just wanted to. I love this shirt. A story about this shirt. I was riding once and my luggage was open and it fell off somewhere in Ikeja. I turned around. I started looking for this shirt every single place. And then I found it. So yes, it's one of my best ones. Thank you.
You know, every single time my daughters ask me, Mommy, what's your favorite color? And I say black. And they're like, ew.
Dark
why
mother.
black?
It's all good, guys. Get around your TV sets. Get ready to embark on a delightful and energizing journey. Yeah, let's say journey. Let's put it that way. My name is Mazzino Appeal.
And I am Emil Koche. Remember that you can watch the show live on GOTV. You will find us on channel 16 and UHF channel 49.
You can also stream us live. Did you guys know? tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook as well, TVC Connect. And we have an app, by the way. It's available for download on Android or iOS, whether it's 13, 14, or 15 that you are using. Yes.
Yeah, you finally said it. Are you happy now?
Well, I got into a very big tiff with my wife about upgrading. And she's like, what's the point? I'm like, it's the charger.
Because of C-type charger. All right, guys, we'll be starting the show with arts display. Tunde Alelo has over 25 years of practical hands-on experience in the arts, design, digital, and print media industry. And this morning, he'll be sharing his journey with us through the eyes of the art.
And Mr. Mike, I haven't seen you for a week. I thought you jackpot or something, man.
Oh my, yeah, talking about jackpot,
Jackpot syndrome.
This is jackpot syndrome.
Talking about jackpot, at times you just feel like, you have that feeling once in a while where you are in between both. You're thinking this way, you're thinking this way, you're thinking this way, you're thinking. But I always had the feeling that maybe during school when I had the opportunity via scholarships and all of that, we had this thing that let's fight for our country. I'm not saying it's wrong to fight for your country, but it's easier at a particular stage of your life.
Well, try up on your 2 degrees. You did everything here. Why did you just try for one there?
Just try for one. A lot of people went. So, but I think for me, you see, I have the feeling when you hear stories and all of that, as much as there are things that work there and all of that, there are pros and cons. And at times, balancing them when you're trying to think about them, I would, or optimally for me, it's freedom to move if I have to move, but maybe not making a permanent base there.
Okay. I feel the same way, but what do you think about people who, especially people who have been successful at immigrating, and then they are there, and then they're calling out there, they're not even calling, they're broadcasting and saying, don't come, it's hard here, it's difficult, you don't need to stay in Nigeria.
I think it has to do with wanting to own that space.
Them, eh?
You're right. I think it has to do with that because no, don't come and infiltrate this. Don't come and contaminate it. We are here. We like the.
I think different. I think for most people who are there who are of this opinion, it is because like this gentleman who was telling on YouTube just the other day, he was telling how Nigerians shouldn't, because when he was here in Nigeria, he had his own medical institution, he had 3 cars, his kids were so and so, but when he went there, he discovered that he had to, take a drop in status. For me, I think it's that drop in status that people cannot adapt to. and then they feel like, no, it's difficult. I don't want to do this. I want to go back.
it's
But
not
for
a
you and I, who are ready to start from scratch, there,
it's not a lot of people that actually drop in status when they immigrate. There's
Not-
some
not all
people
of them,
who
yeah.
actually get jobs and then they have to move. So for them, it's not much of a challenge. The only challenge will be settling in and getting used or acclimatized to the
This
to
situation,
the
yeah.
situation, to this new scenery and all of that. But for some, I think it's also just go with an open mind.
Go with an open mind. Yeah, that's what it is. Tell you what, whatever your opinion is about immigration, Nigeria is still a lovely place, and I think that there's so much Nigeria that we haven't experienced, and you should at least.
The news on Wake Up Nigeria, I am Mike Mesikeno. A 24-hour curfew has been declared in Kano following the judgment of the Election Petitions Tribunal that invalidates victory of the state governor Abba Yusuf. The State Commissioner of Police, Usaini Gumel, declared the restriction of movement in a statement issued to newsmen. He stated that a combined team of security operatives have been dispatched across the city to enforce the curfew. The curfew will take effect from 6 p.m. on Wednesday, that's 6 p.m. Wednesday yesterday, 20th, to 6 p.m. today, Thursday, 21st of September. The police noted that violators will be arrested and made to face the wrath of the law. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, says alternative dispute resolution must be encouraged in order to reduce the dockets of cases in court. He made this statement while swearing in 9 justices to the Court of Appeal. Judiciary correspondent Celestina Area reports.
Court of Appeal Amendment Act 2013, governing the appointment of justices of the Court of Appeal, provides that the total number of justices to be appointed should not be more than 90, including the president of the court. The court currently has 20 divisions in the country, and each division is expected to have not less than 6 justices. Now, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has sworn in 9 justices to the appellate court, thereby increasing the number from 71 to 80. These, however, indicate that the court is short of 10 justices. The newly sworn-in justices are Hannatu Balogun from Kaduna State, Binta Zubairu from Kaduna State, Peter Obiora from Anambra State, Okun Abang, Akwa Ibom State, Asma'u Musa Memuna from FCT, Latif Ganiyu, Oyo State, Jane Inyang, Cross River State, Hadiza Shagari, Sokoto State, and Paul Bassi from Borno State. The CJN admonishes the justices to avoid irresistible gifts that often intend to dent their reputation and integrity. He says it is important for them to always hold their heads high by auditing their conduct regularly in order not to fall on the wrong side of the law.
In life, gifts and wealth that are not worked for, which are by extension undeserving, are always destructive and calamitous in nature. I pray that your lordship don't fall into such snare in the course of your assertion.
As Nigeria continually ranks among the most litigious countries in the world, it has become imperative to imbibe a culture of less litigation and more alternative dispute resolution mechanism to free the court of unnecessary burdens and depletion of both human and material resources.
It is high time we began to imbibe the culture of less litigation and more of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms.
Although the Court of Appeal now have sufficient number of justices, the Supreme Court is led for just 11. This is due to the death of Justice Santos Uweze and the retirement of Justice Amina Aogin.
So good morning once again and welcome. It's time for What's Up and About. 30th September, Saturday is going to be the, what do you call it now, the installment of PJ, Pastor Jimmy Odukoya's installment as the leader of Fountain of Life Church.
Senior pastor.
Yes, the senior pastor. This is after the passing away of his father on the 7th of August.
Yeah.
Well, would you say congratulations are in order? But there's a lot of things, a lot of preference, a lot of talk that has also followed this regarding him being the senior pastor. Some on very different, aspects of the conversation are out there, especially on social media. There's plenty of talk about his urbanness and whether he is worthy of being a leader of people of a religious group of people. I've got a few, things to tell, but I was wondering what you guys had to say about this. You look to Mike because it wasn't quiet. It wasn't quiet when it was in church. I mean,
let's see what we need to look at.
well, Mike, what do you think? Though, seriously, what do you think? Do you have any?
Why you not wait to another person to talk?
You're a quiet boy now.
Well,
Okay.
So first I'd like to say congratulations to Pastor Jimmy Odukoya. I think he's deserving of the new feats, and the new mandates that has been given to him. There's no however here, right? I know that he's been judged a lot on his outward appearance, the way he looks, and people are saying that
You should
was he
define that
right?
outward appearance so that
Okay,
people who
outward
don't
appearance
know understand.
It's just
so
the
he's the
hairstyle.
way, no, not just the hairstyle. He wears earrings.
His piercing.
So he has piercings. He's
got dreads.
got dreads.
Sure, you
He's
know
an
that.
actor.
But
You
know,
know,
most of these churches that are, a lot of churches that have branches here, and they have different standards for dressing. There are churches here that they will send you out for looking some way, and their branch outside the country.
they look.
That's
yeah,
how they
that's how
look,
they
and
dress.
there's no
Yeah,
problem.
there's no problem with it.
So we now understand that standards are not universal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you want
yeah.
to continue?
Yeah. So he's been judged based on that. But we know very much that God, who is the best person in this case to judge us based on our actions, only looks at, he doesn't judge us based on our outward appearance. He's more concerned about the hearts, which matters more. And this, let's not also forget that he's not taking this position as a newbie. He's a trained pastor.
Yeah,
PJ. He's had years of training. Other than that, he's also gone to school to learn the art of pastoring. So it's not just, it's not just him just coming and say, oh, no, okay, or what. Other than the fact that his father actually passed it on to him, it was more of a succession, like, he succeeded, his father, told him to, gave him the
Mandate?
the mandate, to do it. I just feel that, can we just, give him, let's not judge based on,
Okay. So
let's just allow him, go ahead and
religion,
carry on the
basically,
mandates given unto him.
especially certain arms of religion, have been known to be quite pedantic. They want to stick to how this is the tenet, this is how it is. It can't change. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that. Fine. You mentioned something. It wasn't just today. His name is actually P.J. Odukoya, and P there stands for Pastor Jimmy Odukoya. Great. Now, however, I would say this. If you're called upon to lead a group, no matter what that group is, whether it's a social group or a religious group, I think that it also behooves a person to also note that you have certain image, no, not image. There's an image, yes, that is expected of you at the end of the day, whether you like it or not. It might not be that whatever you are wearing or whatever your preferences are for how you look or how you present that image is bad. To you, it might not be. But could it be misleading to anyone who does not have as good an education in that group or in that field as you do? Perhaps they are not as versed as you are. And like, why would you be wearing earrings now? No, I don't think. So would it be fair for you to say, okay, just because I don't want to mislead or push away these people, let me perhaps take this off or take that out? Now, these are not what I'm not saying that this is what should be. I'm just simply putting that out there and saying, would that not be a fair consideration to the people that you are about to lead?
The people that
Devil's advocate.
Yeah, the people leading, I feel like if they don't have any problem with it, then.
But they do. A lot of people do. A lot of
in the church.
Right, yeah. Oh, a lot of comments have been raining.
Yes.
Oh, let's talk about that.
In the church.
Yes.
People have said, hey, okay, since you're taking this mandate, maybe it's going to be time for you to actually note that you're leading people. You should do something about you. There was one particular message, do something about your hair. Others are like, okay, about your piercings and this and that, and how you look, how you present. Let's also note that he's a well-known actor. If you don't know who we're talking about, he's Obade in The Woman King.
Yes.
you know, the villain
And
in The
he's
Woman
also
King.
played a whole
lot of other roles.
other movies. To be honest, I really don't think it matters because we are in a time where I wouldn't say so. There's a thin line between Christianity and spirituality, right? And that line is quite, you know, it's sort of blurred, but there is that, you know, line. And people, you know, tend more to focus more on the Christianity than the spirituality. And that's where, you know, questions of or conversations around how one looks
or presents
matters, which in this case it doesn't. Let's not forget that there's sometimes, I would even like to believe that because of the way he looks, it would even draw more younger people to the church because they feel it's a place where, you know, they feel it's a place that is welcoming,
I'm welcome
that, you know,
here.
that welcomes them regardless of who they are, which of course that is what God or Christ even expects from us in the first place. That is what the church is meant to represent. It's meant to be a home for everyone, regardless of how you look or who you are. So who are we now to now come forward and say, oh, because of how you look, you shouldn't be on the pulpit? Are we God? Are we the one that gave him the mandate?
Mike, why are you smiling?
Yeah, but you know, the other angle that has been trending is church business.
Oh, the business, the church industry.
Church industry, and how, you know, some members of the cleric also fired back and said, okay, if it's a business, why don't you go and start it with your family if it's that easy? And people were like, oh no, a cleric shouldn't talk that way to the laity, as it were. But it is what it is. And I can confidently say a number of churches have gotten into businesses or are businesses. They have board of trustees that their family members are the ones in charge. Churches now have businesses, even as far as having banks. Where did the money come from? It's the church money. So it is what it is. It is a business, and if you do have a business, who would you want to put there?
Someone you trust, I guess.
Exactly. So, yeah, they run businesses. So, I mean, churches run schools. What is a school? Charity.
He's got a point there.
I mean, it's not a point.
He's got a point
It is a
there.
fact. It's not a point.
Yeah, I hear you.
The churches run schools. They run press. They run stuff.
Yeah, but
And all of that are registered on like the church is the one that, you know. So
Personally,
okay, so what monies are we supposed to use to manage the church?
Huh?
What monies are supposed to be used to manage the church?
donations, contributions, untaxed
I'm
fares.
not about the money or not. My point is that the churches run businesses, and that is what it is. The other part I just need to mention about his father, which stood out for me, was when, at a point, all the branches of the churches he had, he let them go in such a way that he let the presiding pastors do whatever they want with it and start up their own ministries. And I think I'd never heard about it before. Very unusual. So for somebody to do like that, I think to a large extent, I would trust that person's wisdom. I would trust that person's heart. I would trust that this person is not being
Selfish. It's not exactly. It's not
selfish.
for his
somebody
own
to even
gain.
do that. Do you know what that means?
I'm going to look at this from an angle that is not the religious angle. Change is the only constant thing, quite frankly, whether you like it or not. If we look back at what industries used to look like from before, there's certain, like in banks, for instance, you couldn't work at a bank if it was 10 or 5 years ago, Mike, because of your beard. But now you find people who actually have dreads, who are occupying positions that are very corporate. So that change is the only constant thing. If you want to apply it into the church, well, I guess perhaps maybe it then fits
Maybe
well.
it actually even needs a change. Maybe old religion, new religion, you bring in the new.
Perhaps. Well, we don't have the main say here. What's your opinion? Do let us know. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Be nice. We'll be right back. And of course, you're welcome. It's time for that segment where we get to give you the headlines that you will meet if you decide to take any of the papers today for consumption. And I'm not doing that alone. I have the dark, the one, the only Okocha here. Thank you for joining. I'm also wearing dark, so don't worry. Not a personal whatchamacallit. All right, so let's do the papers together. I'm going to be starting from the Punch newspaper, and if you're with me, let's already begin with the big headline here. Tinubu's academic record. APC tackles Atiku as U.S. court grants ex-VP's request. PDP Atiku's aide commend U.S. court, says Tinubu's academic record will be unveiled soon. As we know, only recently, the University of Chicago actually came out to say that he graduated from there in 1979, if I'm not mistaken. No cause for alarm. Atiku's case an exercise in futility. Presidency has nothing to hide, says the APC. There's a big photo story of concern here to me, and it's a picture from somewhere in Lagos called Ikotun, somewhere that I actually know and I perhaps use maybe once or twice or 3 times a year. Lagos road collapse after downpour, residents groan. Now this is the worst case of erosion I've seen inside of an urban area in a very long time, and this is not the only place. Over the weekend on Saturday, there was reports of the trade fair route on the Lagos-Badagry Expressway getting flooded chest high, something that has never happened before. It's a concern, and you would think or you would hope that the town planning authorities are actually on this,
doing something
because
about
plenty of constructions have been going on, especially in that area. You could guess that maybe certain original plans have been amended or erroneously amended, and that's what's causing that. We're hoping that they're seeing all of these. More headlines from the Punch.
Yeah, so I think the rainy season has also, just to add to what you just said, the rainy season has also sort of, caused a lot of roads to be dilapidated during this period. There are a lot of roads that needs to be. I don't know when that is going to happen, but I think they really need to, do something about it.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, I'd just like to take the stories at the bottom of the newspaper.
Go ahead, please.
Punch paper. So, Naira tumbles to 980 Naira per dollar.
Maria.
Forex shortage worsens. And Mohbad's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice. As we all know, the Mohbad's death incident has been ongoing for a while. Like you call it, the mass hysteria.
Outrage.
Yes,
exactly.
It's been on for a while. I mean, Twitter, or the X as we call it now, has been agog with so many comments, so many revelations as well. And we're hopeful. And well, the government, Lagos State government, has come forward to say that investigations have begun. And so we're hoping that, in the next couple of days, we're hoping that there would be some, would I say, we're expecting something, we're hoping that they're waiting on the issue and they're waiting deeply. And if there are any culprits involved, they will be remanded. So finally, I'll just take one more story on strike. The NLC ultimatum ends today. Federal government allays fears.
All right, we're still waiting for that one. Everybody's got their hearts in their mouth. So we're still waiting. We will. I'm sure we're going to come across that in other headlines here. Let me go now to the Nation newspaper. Nation newspaper has this headline: political cases consuming court time, says CJN Ariwola. A planned strike, NLC keeps federal government in suspense. FGF ministers meet with VP Shatima. Labour State chapter waiting for go-ahead, along with other chapters across the country, just simply waiting for what would be announced by the NLC. Well, we also wait, and we'll be bringing you information on that one. At the top of the Nation newspaper, Dangote Refinery, we will take off with crude from NNPCL. Okay, well, that's a good one. Take off. However, when? A timeline would be fair.
We need to know.
We thought upon commissioning, boom.
Exactly.
Everything was going to, but it's months after now.
Nothing.
We're still,
Which is very disappointing because, I mean, there was a lot of expectations from this. We're expecting that also it was even going to affect the price of fuel. And, few months down the line, everyone is still, what's going on?
There's still anticipation of even increases.
So as well.
It's a very relative concern even to every single poor man out there, you and I. There's more headlines here. Ondo House steps up moves to remove Deputy Governor, and Nigeria's solid minerals deposit worth $700 billion, says Alake. Ogun plans trial for suspected Shagamu cultists. There was talk about that over the weekend. A number of them arrested. And finally, from the Nation newspaper, Tribunal voids 165,000 NNPP votes, sacks Kano governor.
Oh, yeah. So I would go back to the Shagamu crisis, the cultist crisis that happened in Shagamu recently. That was over the weekend, and there were speculations that it was as a result of Mohbad's death. Because then we heard of, cultists, different cultists, factions, that were happening. We heard of Ikorodu, we heard of some other places as well. And this is very saddening because I feel that this is not a time for
or the instance
Exactly,
to
exactly.
use as
It's this is not the time for it as well. But the police investigation is still ongoing regarding this. So we are hoping that there would be. Yes. So for Daily Independent, I'll take some of the stories here. Making the headlines: Edo asks federal government to explain source of 5 billion naira palliatives to states, and excuse me. Also here we have 300 million naira bulletproof jeep. Ondo Assembly begins impeachment process of deputy governor. Interesting. And here, Oborev Wari endorses Serap's report on Niger Delta. And Lagos rakes in 400 billion naira IGR in 6 months. Wow. Guess a lot's coming in from taxes and a lot of accruable fees, in the last couple of months, but that's quite impressive. Lifting Nigerians out of poverty requires paradigm shifts, says Rep Speaker. And I'll just take one more story here. Naira woes continue as it exchanges for record 985 naira per dollar.
Our final paper this morning is from The Guardian. Love The Guardian with all the charts and everything that they bring. Gives you a very first-hand view of what the instance is. Critical National Infrastructure Bill, non-passage of bill 15 years after threatens $77 billion telecom industry. The telecom industry currently is not what it used to be, especially with everything that's happening, the exchange rates and all. The chart here gives more information on the situation. Non-passage of CNI bill threatens 77 billion naira telcos infrastructure. Gives a range of the percentiles across the years. You can find that on the Guardian page. And real quick, before we go, these headlines from The Guardian. Curfew in Kano, jubilation rather. I thought that was a northern name. Jubilation in Abuja as tribunal sacks Governor Yusuf. Why military incursion is not solution to leadership deficits. And economists warn on spiraling inflation hike in prices of petroleum products. I wish we could dive into this, but we can't. We have to round up now for the papers. But thank you very much for joining us. These are a sample of some of the headlines that you'll be finding across the dailies for this morning. Should you want to comment on any of these, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Would love to read from you. The kitchen has already started smelling good, and I would like to know exactly what we're having for breakfast this morning, Mike.
Yeah, so normally, I always thought about it that using the word smell when describing the kitchen might not be the best. I've thought about it.
Always thought so.
Yeah, I've always thought that. What word do I use? So maybe
I've always thought so, Mike. Which would be the best word? Do I say aroma, odor, smell?
Aroma. So, but most of the time, smell is not, it's just some sort of, it's just that, yeah, because we think that is, but it's English. It's still a smell. But then we have a beautiful aroma already coming out. And Chef Tolu is here with me today, making her debut on the show. How are you doing, Chef Tolu?
Very well, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And we're preparing something special, and she's been telling me all about it, and she's about to tell you all about it. So, Chef Tolu, let's go. What are we preparing today?
Okay, so today we have masa.
What is masa?
Typically, it's indigenous to the northern people of Nigeria.
Oh, this thing looks good on TV.
It's made of rice. I mean, local rice.
Okay.
Typically, when you want to get this in the market, you tell them tuwon rice. That's what it's called in Hausa.
Okay.
And it's a delicacy that can be enjoyed as a snack or as a main meal.
As a snack or as a main meal?
Yep.
Okay.
It goes both
all
ways.
right. So what are the ingredients we're working with here? Let's go through all of them.
Okay. So for the masa itself, you have your soaked rice.
Okay.
Typically, you have to soak this for about 8 hours or overnight. And then from this also, I have the cooked portion of it. So typically, when you want to do this, the measurement is about 3.5 cups of your soaked rice, your soaked tuwon rice. Remember, this is not your regular rice, so you don't. It's not your basmati or the other rice. Yeah, so it has to be this particular. Well, it has it's harder, I would say, a little bit. It's non-processed.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has the ability to stick and give us the shape
that
of
we
what
need,
we'll eventually get.
Wonderful.
So you have a cooked portion of this, which
of
is
the
about
same rice,
of the same rice. Yeah. So you have a half cup of this to 3.5 cup of this.
Okay.
You're gonna use a teaspoon.
That looks well
and half
grounded.
well, this is yeast.
Okay.
Yeah, yeast. And you're going to have a pinch of salt.
Salt,
to
okay.
taste. You're going to have sugar.
Okay.
And all of this is going to go into...
Sugar, eh?
Yes,
Oh,
please.
okay, wonderful. And then there's
Yeah.
onions. We have...
Yes,
Wow, this meat looks very...
Yeah, that's chopped diced beef.
Okay, and then we also have more. Wonderful, wonderful. So let's get started. What are we doing here? What kind of a pan is this? This looks like it looks like a roulette or something that you can play a game. But
know,
what
right?
kind of a pan is this?
Yeah, so this is typically a masa pan.
Okay, a masa pan. Yeah,
A masa pan. And this is what gives the masa its shape, its unique shape.
Okay.
You know, whenever you see this anywhere, you just know that this is masa. So you can actually use a flat frying pan, but it will not come out giving you this original shape of what the masa should look like. So it should typically look round, you know, and that's what this pan gives you. So we have...
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So this is what we have here, and this is called the masa pan. And if you want to purchase this, you could just get it as the masa pan. So.
Okay, all right. So what now? We've already put this in. What exactly is this?
Okay, so this is a blended and fermented portion of the rice.
Okay.
The soaked rice,
Okay.
the cooked rice, your yeast, a pinch of salt, and sugar.
Okay, all right, wonderful. And then this what we did, most of this is for the sauce, right?
Yeah, so typically masa is eaten with a sauce called wine, mi and toshe.
Okay.
So, but today we're going to be having a more modern version of that. And we're just going to be having a very simple sauce, spicy, to go nicely with the masa. So we're going to be having pepper mix, a little bit of veggies. We have chopped beef, chopped pomo, onions. I have suya spice here, and then I have mixed spices here.
All right,
basically.
wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, no wahala. So while we're doing all of this, we'll just take a short break. We'll get back to this. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. It is time for us to go through our book chat for today. And today we will be reviewing the book Unhindered, Bulletproof Your Identity. And this is a book by Opeyemi Adetola. She is an education practitioner with ample experience working with both profit and non-profit organizations. She also holds an unwavering interest in education, social impact, and human capacity development. And today we're reviewing her book, Unhindered, Bulletproof Your Identity. How are you doing this morning?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.
Lovely ambience you have here.
Thank you so much.
And
Thanks
you
for
look
being
absolutely
here.
stunning.
Thank you so much. You as well. Okay, so let's dive right into the book, Unhindered. First of all, what inspired you to write this book? Because it comes with a lot of affirmations and knowing yourself, who you truly are in Christ, and as you. Yes. So let's talk about what inspired the book.
Beautiful. I think I released this book last year when I clocked 25, and I felt like it was inspired from my journey.
Okay.
The places I've been and the things I experienced growing up. I believe that my parents are core contributors to what I have become and how it has shaped me. I grew up not having the most perfect, you know, not even relationship now, not having the most perfect, what's the word now? I didn't have the most perfect growing up, you see, but it was crucial to me to understand that my parents played a very vital role growing up, in that they didn't have so many things, but they still had everything. Talk about the strength of their convictions, talk about the value that they represented, talk about so many things that they held dear to them.
Yeah.
And I remember then that as a young girl, I had things that I struggled with, habits that I struggled with, but I had a dad who just believed so much in me. After morning devotion,
I was coming to that because the story you're about to reveal reflected in the first chapter of the story here, where you were talking about how you had to run away when you were 14.
You saw that?
Yes, I did. Just because your sister, you know, scolded you because you wanted something and you were not getting it. I think you were an over-pampered, spoiled child. Well, yeah, but hey, talk to us about, where you got to the point, where you began to understand who you are.
Beautiful. So I was just saying that, I had a dad who never saw me by my struggles, and that's even my earthly father now. At the end of the morning devotion, he would sit me down and tell me, I think that you represent so much light. You can do so much. You're beautiful. My dad was literally my cheerleader, and it was so profound because I got into a place that, as beautiful as that was, as awesome as that was, I didn't really come into the understanding of who I am until I met God.
Okay.
And it is to say that you cannot define yourself by human affirmations. You can't define yourself by validations from other people. You cannot be under the pressure of approval from people, because what happens when they are not there anymore? So there is a question that I know propels every human on the face of the earth, which is, who am I? What am I born to do?
What am I here for?
What am I here for? So it's crucial that you understand that you don't necessarily know what you're meant to do if you don't even know who you are. You need to think right. Know what you're about before you act right or you give something to the world.
Now let's talk about some of the signs that you highlighted here, that you are in identity crisis. Now that's a really strong one, because I mean, that's also a reality for some of us, or for many of us. You're in that constant struggle. It's like a tugging at you. I mean, you're constantly asking yourselves and you're not getting answers.
Indeed.
And in this chapter, you highlighted some of those signs. So let's run through some of those signs.
I think the most one that top of mind for me really is you lose your joy, really, because in our daily living as humans, you are consciously and unconsciously ruled by your background, your struggles, we define ourselves by, everybody wants to identify with something.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have a sense of belonging. You identify yourself by, maybe your past struggles, maybe your location, maybe your background, your social media following, your marital status, your social graces, as it were. But it always comes down to it that when those things are not there anymore, it means your joy has been attached to those things, right? So you must come to a place where we understand that there is a God-sized hole in the heart of every man that is meant for God alone to fill. No amount of money can fill it. No job, no. I don't care how beautiful that marriage is. Nothing can fill it up except God.
All right, we have to wrap this up quickly, but finally, I would like us to talk about some of the ways that you highlighted that you're walking in your God-given identity. So quickly run through them, and I mean, you highlighted them also in your book here, and you were very affirmative. The time is now. You have to do it. You have to walk in this step. So please talk to us about some of them.
And truly, the time is now, because time is ticking and your life is going, and you just need to get on the groove. So first thing is that you recognized how the devil, I think the devil is such a limited fool. It's so persistent, and you must understand how it works, so that it takes a fight to refuse rubbish in your life. I remember, growing up, had all of these struggles. It is crucial that I came into a place where I said, you know what? I understand the pattern of the devil, how that 1 minute you feel like the best thing after sliced bread. Other time you're feeling like, does anybody love me? Other times it's just suggesting all sort of lies to you. So you must understand that when it comes to staying grounded in your identity, you must understand how the devil works. You must understand how the lies come. The thoughts will come, but it is in your power to not allow it stay. You cannot stop a bird from flying, but you can stop a bird from building a nest.
You know what? There's so much packed in this book, Unhindered. I really, really love. There's a lot of. I mean, it actually reveals a lot. There's a lot, to be revealed here in this book, and I think you have to read it to utterly experience it. Thank you so much, Akpemi, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And I will encourage you, young one out there, you should definitely get this book. All right, that's it on Book Chat for now. We have to rush over to the kitchen. Mazino, you're taking over from Mike. What's happening over there?
I was so excited. I was so excited. When I heard about masa, I had to kick Mike out of here and then join Tulu because very interesting stuff happening here about masa. Oh, my time in Abuja. My time in the north generally was all about masa and suya. To hear that we're having masa here for breakfast, I'm like, no, it gotta be me. So I wanted to talk about the process, and Tulu here was intimating me with how it all starts. I don't know if the cameras can see, but you can see, Tulu, this is what now exactly?
This is rice.
This is rice.
Yes, soaked.
Soaked rice.
Yes, overnight.
Overnight.
Yes.
And then it's blended into, oh no, but that's it.
You also have a cooked portion of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so about a quarter cup of what you have here cooked and cold.
Yeah.
You must allow it cool.
And then it becomes this.
It becomes this, yeah.
All right.
It becomes what you have there.
Okay. But then
And what you want is a semi, not too runny and not too thick consistency.
then you let that ferment.
Yes, you let that ferment. That's, of course, when you have this blended, you have it with a little bit of yeast, which serves as the rising agent.
Okay.
And then you have your sugar
Sugar
to
in it.
taste, and then you have a little bit of salt. So the combination of that is what we have here.
Okay.
And then you give it about 45 minutes to an hour,
Okay.
depending on how warm. It needs a warm and a bit of a dark place. And then you...
Yeah, we had it in a warm and dark place.
Yeah.
And that's how we came up with this now.
how we came up with this.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, so
Cameras are getting it.
what you need is to see the bubble-like things forming. When you have that, then you know that you're all set to get it fried. So this is what serves to let you know that it is time to,
All right.
and it's all good
Let me
to
see you
go.
put one into,
Oh,
can
okay,
we-
so you
after
have,
first we'll put
you
some
have
oil.
a little bit of
Right.
oil.
We're
and
gonna
then-
also tell exactly how we're gonna put the veg sauce together in just a minute. Let's
Yeah.
put that one
So you have,
masa getting ready there for you.
Yep.
All right, fine. So we'll just let that keep cooking. Now, all the ingredients here are all coming together as our veg sauce.
Yeah.
How do we begin? What are we doing first? We're not putting sugar in it, are we?
No.
No. So let's put that one aside for starters.
yeah.
All right.
So typically, let me say that masa is eaten with something called mian toshe.
Mian toshe.
Traditionally, mian toshe. So it's a soup-like sauce made
Okay.
from groundnut paste.
Okay.
That's what it is traditionally
I don't
eaten
see
with in the
groundnuts
north.
here.
No, we're not having that today. So today we're having just a very simple spicy sauce that cuts across.
Okay.
Anybody can enjoy this.
Okay.
It doesn't cut across whether you like nuts or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, some people are allergic to nuts, see.
Yeah.
So that's why, I guess, yes?
Yeah,
Fantastic. So how do we start with the veg sauce?
Yeah, so with the veg sauce, we'll start with the oil.
Go ahead, let's start already. Have our palm
Have
oil.
our pan here already
Yes.
heated.
Yeah, it's heated already. There we go.
And we have chopped onions.
We love onions.
You too. We have chopped onions.
All right.
And then,
Wait for you.
thank you. And then we have that
Stir it a bit.
stirred properly.
Our oil has to be hot.
Yes, it has to.
All right.
It has to be hot. And you give that about a minute or two.
Okay.
And then we'll go in. This is
Tomato?
tomato paste,
Okay.
puree.
Okay. That goes in as well.
This goes in.
While we wait for that 1 minute.
Goes
Basically,
in.
one after the other, all of these ingredients are going to end up in there. We'll let you guys know the processes after because we have to get on with the rest of the show. But we'll be putting that in and letting you know exactly how we come up at the end with our veg sauce. But I just wanted to say, your name is Tolu, but I hear a light bit of northern inflection in your voice. What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, so I was born in the north. Born, bred, buttered, Bauchi
For real?
State to be precise, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I just...
That's beautiful. That's nice. Bauchi State, by the way, is a beautiful place. Love
Yes.
it. Tell you guys more when we get back, more about our food, more about our chef. Just stay tuned. Let's take a very short break. When we get back, more on Wake Up Nigeria. Welcome back. Second hour here for Wake Up Nigeria Thursday edition. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is What You Wanted, the energetic show that entertains you every single morning. Here on your screen, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. As you know, I said all the thank yous already. It's nothing left, but hey, good morning, everyone. We are back to kick off the second leg of your favorite breakfast show. It's
Absolutely
called Wake
right.
Up Nigeria.
Definitely, MM. Now, our goal here is to create a positive and enjoyable start to every single day. If you didn't start with us at 7 o'clock because you're late, sorry, because you got out of bed because you went to bed late yesterday, we understand, it's all right.
But you know, it's silently shading.
Second hour is made for you late risers, and of course, we'll put in everything to make sure it's the best breakfast show that you can ever want. Or simply, let's just say, maybe you're relaxing at home and you've got us tuned on. Hey, you've got the right show, trust us.
Yes, of course. We have got you covered 24/5. Well, because we're not like live.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I thought it was 24/5, and now I get it.
Yeah, so for the next, less than 45 minutes, we have a fantastic lineup of exciting segments just for your viewing pleasure.
Of course, yes, we are not here alone. Mike is going to be joining us soon. Talk about something very interesting when he gets here. So hold on tight to your seats, everyone. Please get ready for a morning that will leave you guys smiling from ear to ear. My name is Okoche. Sorry.
And his name is Mazuno Appeal. And I am Emil Koche, just in case you missed out on that. But hey, we're just having fun here. You can watch the show live on GOTV. You'll find us on channel 16 and UHF channel 49.
And you can also stream us live, tvcentertainment.tv. Facebook, it is at TVC Connect. We've got an app. Download us, please. Android, iOS store. It is available for free. Carry us with you anywhere that you might want to go or you might be at the moment.
Yeah, you can carry him with you wherever you
in your pocket. 6'2", all of me.
Ooh,
all
look at you.
Of me.
I
don't know the rest of the song.
Let's get right into what we have lined up for the show, guys. So yes, we still have birthday shout-outs. Yes, if you're born in the month of September, you would like to celebrate your loved ones, well, we've got you.
And as artworks there.
Beautiful.
You had a question for me this morning.
Oh, yes, I did.
Ask Mike.
Okay.
Ask Mike.
So I caught up on a tweet on I caught up on a tweet actually where the father was saying that if he had to choose between his wife and his child
in a medical
emergency, he was going to choose his child.
Mike,
and that just caused an upward.
It's not worth discussion.
Sorry?
It's not worth discussion. The usual that's no red flag. That's red sea. You know who to avoid now.
Well, I'll tell you what I think.
You know who to avoid.
I'll tell you what I think.
Red sea.
In such a situation, we don't hope to ever be in such a situation, first of all. But in such a situation, I think that the mother has plenty of say here, what to do or who she should. I'll just say, hey, what do you want us to do, honey? But to be very logical, I think a person that you share plenty of experience with, that you've been with for over a while, would be the first person that you might want to go for, that you might want to save. A baby might be, I don't know this baby yet enough to say I want to save the baby. But I think cultural differences come into play here where people, especially in our part of the world, are very, very, very tuned to say, oh, my baby is the first thing that comes to my mind or the first thing that the first person I'm going to save. But that's just me. I don't think I was very specific there.
I don't even see the place of cultural differences in choosing who do you suggest the more time with, other than someone that you never met before. But hey, I saw the tweet. I thought it was insensitive. I thought the man, I don't think any woman should be with him. He doesn't deserve any woman in his life because that was very insensitive and inconsiderate.
100. I incidentally, some other stories of women, what they go through with childbirth and how husbands behave.
Do you understand?
On the timeline, you hear a woman saying that she was begging her husband to pay money for CS, and the husband said, "Sure, you decided to do CS."
Yes.
You want to give birth.
Do you understand?
Really?
I hear a lot of insensitive things. I remember when I was in labor for Elsie. There was this lady sitting in the next room. I hear she'd been there for the last 24 hours, going into 48 hours, because she'd been in labor, and she didn't want to have CS. She wanted to have a natural birth, and it was a very, I didn't even want, because...
So for me, we're just trying to hold myself in there. A lot of senseless men out there. And a woman was saying that the money for the CS, the man was telling her that you may pay me the balance of 20K used for CS.
Yeah, 20,000
You're the one
naira.
that decided to do CS.
Yeah. Anyway, there's still this conversation. There's still so much to be said here. But hey, let's check out what the weather is like. What's going to be today?
It's the news once again on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Messikeno. A 24-hour curfew has been declared in Kano State following the judgment of the Election Petitions Tribunal that invalidates the victory of the state governor, Abba Yusuf. The State Commissioner of Police, Usaini Gumel, declared the restriction of movement in a statement issued to newsmen. He stated that a combined team of security operatives have been dispatched across the city to enforce the curfew. The curfew will take effect from 6 p.m. Yesterday, Wednesday the 20th, to 6 p.m. today, Thursday the 21st of September. The police noted that violators will be arrested and made to face the wrath of the law. Now, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, says alternative dispute resolution must be encouraged in order to reduce the dockets of cases in court. He made this statement while swearing in 9 justices to the Court of Appeal. Judiciary correspondent Celestina Era reports.
Section 2 of the Court of Appeal Amendment Act 2013, governing the appointment of justices of the Court of Appeal, provides that the total number of justices to be appointed should not be more than 90, including the president of the court. The court currently has 20 divisions in the country, and each division is expected to have not less than 6 justices. Now, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has sworn in 9 justices to the appellate court, thereby increasing the number from 71 to 80. These, however, indicate that the court is short of 10 justices. The newly sworn-in justices are Hannatu Balogun from Kaduna State, Binta Zubairu from Kaduna State, Peter Obiora from Anambra State, Okun Abang, Akwa Ibom State, Asma'u Musa Memuna from FCT, Latif Ganiyu, Oyo State, Jane Inyang, Cross River State, Hadiza Shagari, Sokoto State, and Paul Bassi from Borno State. The CJN admonishes the justices to avoid irresistible gifts that often intend to dent their reputation and integrity. He says it is important for them to always hold their head high by auditing their conduct regularly in order not to fall on the wrong side of the law.
In life, gifts and wealth that are not worked for, which are by extension undeserving, are always destructive and calamitous in nature. I pray that your lordship don't fall into such snare in the course of your accession.
As Nigeria continually ranks among the most litigious countries in the world, it has become imperative to imbibe a culture of less litigation and more alternative dispute resolution mechanism to free the court of unnecessary burdens and depletion of both human and material resources.
It is high time we began to imbibe the culture of less litigation and more of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms.
Although the Court of Appeal now have sufficient number of justices, the Supreme Court is led for just 11. This is due to the death of Justice Santos Uweze and the retirement of Justice Amina Aogin. Celestina Iria, CBC News, Abuja.
That's it on news for today. Now let's head over to check on Chef Tolu and how far Massa is gone.
Mike, thanks for not checking in on me. But yes, Chef Tulu, how far is the massa gone since Mike wants to take over the kitchen again? But I can tell you...
Sauce is ready?
Yeah, our sauce is ready. So what went into the sauce while we were off of the camera?
Okay, so here we have the oil, we have the chopped onions, we have seasoning that consisted of ground garlic, white pepper, ground ginger, and a little paprika.
Paprika. I also see that the pomo went in there as well.
Yes.
And the tomatoes also went in there. But we had tomato sauce in there already from before.
Yes, so that was just to give it a bit of a nice color,
Texture and color,
texture
okay.
and everything.
Something's left out, however. What is this, cabbage?
Cabbage. This is diced cabbage. So
Okay.
it's going to go in last now. And it's not going to stay at all because we want it still crunchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this will go in
This
now.
is it going in now.
Yeah.
Ah, good. I noticed that our fire isn't really high. Is that intentional?
Yeah, so you need the masa to cook through, not really high, not too high, not too low. Okay, so because you also need what you want. It's not half done masa.
Okay.
You don't want to open into it and then you
inside of
have
it
the
is
raw.
still,
Yes,
moist.
so not so hot, not too cold,
Right,
just
fantastic.
a little bit in between.
Great, great. It's all coming together nicely here in the kitchen for Wake Up Nigeria. And I wish you guys could actually taste it when we're done, but don't worry, we'll do all the tasting for you. Our guests and all of us in here will let you know exactly what it tastes like. But we still got the serving to do, so you guys watch out for that. Stay tuned, there's plenty coming your way. Let's go on a break, we'll be back. Back, and we want to start our art display by, well, introducing to you somebody you've met before here on the show, only under a different capacity. Today, Alelo is back again, only this time he's back with a different expression. He's got over 25 years of practical hands-on experience in arts, design, digital print media industry. Now, he's here to share his journey through the eyes of art. You are welcome again back here. The other time you were here, we were talking about your book.
Yes.
While we had fun with that, you also mentioned that you were also an artist.
Oh,
And I
yes.
didn't think that you were like an artist. I thought like, okay, maybe pastime, it does this and that. How surprised am I to find all of these beautiful expressions to your credit? First off, how can you be a man of many talents like so? I mean, writing is also an art talent, but I mean, it's a different expression. So how do you manage everything?
How I manage everything. Okay, Tunde, how do you manage everything?
Just got a sense of humor too.
Well, I don't know. But just like I said to you the other time, I just live a day at a time. And there's something I've actually understood in life. Once there's determination, once you are determined, let me say here that whatever I carry, we're not putting me by myself. I came here to earth to meet and to have them.
Nice.
The only responsibility I think I have that I've tried to live up to is just to develop them.
Okay, that's nice.
And like I said to you earlier on, I'm actually trained as a fine artist.
Oh, okay.
I have an NC in fine arts, graduated in 1997 from Federal College of Education Technical, Akoka, as the best student. I went to even on direct entry.
Okay.
And I ended up being the best again. So
Wow.
it's a talent that I have.
Janae, that's fantastic. Let's talk about these expressions here. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to lift this one up here just so you guys can see how many of these we have. That's a very interesting one that I personally like. I hope it's not reflecting because there's glass on there. But that's of is that a Benin or Yoruba Oba?
A Yoruba chief.
A Yoruba chief.
Precisely from the ancient town of Ondo.
Ondo State. Does it have a name? Does it have a specific name?
No, it doesn't have a specific name, but the name of the piece is a Yoruba chief.
Yoruba chief. Now this is pen on paper, is it?
Yeah, as a pen on paper.
Pen on paper. It takes a level of, what do you call it, precision to be able to get pen on paper artworks, because you can't afford to make too many mistakes on that one. If you make a mistake, it's either you cover it up nicely or you totally change the concept of the paper. So that takes patience, first of all. And this is not the only kind of expression that you have here today. You also have these ones here that are watercolor on cardboard, I think.
Sorry, oil color.
Oil color.
Oil color on watercolor paper.
On watercolor paper. Oil color on watercolor paper. Let me put this aside here so we can see these ones. There's also a theme, and I noticed that you have human physiognomy is your thing. Why is that?
Okay, I have human face, and I also, I think, if I'm permitted to say that, I'm a feminist.
Okay.
Okay, why did I say that?
Why?
I was raised by a single mother,
Okay.
so I grew up with her. So naturally, I gravitated rather towards the female gender. I'm also married to a woman, and I have a daughter who is with me in the studio today.
Oh, that's nice. Where is she?
There she's there.
There she is. Nice to meet you. She's a beautiful girl.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Okay, so what are these called? Who are these?
Okay, just like you said, when you were talking about the Yoruba chief, when I got into school, I just realized I love drawing figures. And my lecturers then did a very good work on me. So I love to pay attention to details. So as I grew, I also now realize, because I must also say that in terms of temperament, I am somebody very emotional. So I'm captured by emotions. So when you look at all the species, one thing that is also common to all of them is some form of expression.
Yeah, I can see big smiles on these.
And in this part of the world where we are, things are quite challenging.
Yeah.
So I want to use my artwork to exude joy, excitement. So I'm in the faces or in the emotion of most of my female figures. If you're gone out there and you're battered and you see my pieces, I want you to be happy. I want you to be joyful. And I'm also a Yoruba person. And see, in the part of the world where I came from, there's so much Owambe.
Nah, tell me about it. Can't wait for another one this Saturday. We're looking at a piece now on screen, and this is pen and paper. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. How long does it take you to put pen on paper to make these kinds of artwork?
Someone says that practice makes perfect. But another person challenged that to say practice makes permanent. Because I've done this over the years. Sometimes I could do a piece for 15, 20 minutes.
For real?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Wow.
1 hour, depending on what I want to do.
Oh, wow. These are very beautiful pieces. Absolutely beautiful. I think I moved more toward the pen on paper because it's just so accessible. I could pick up a pen and a piece of paper and try to achieve that, as against getting an easel, getting some paints, getting the right color, but these are also great. I mean, your colors and your oil paintings as well, they're fantastic. Let's bring it back to the studio here and see some of what we have in here. I'm taking a look at this very relaxed lady with her feet up. I don't know if that's a phone she's holding there, but it looks like the typical Nigerian mother inside the house after she's done all the housework, and she's like, "I'm like, what is on?" She's relaxed. What's that called? Who is it, and what is it?
Okay, let me say this.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you're good. Let me say this. That is an artistic representation of my wife.
You caught her in the moments.
No, I actually named that piece after the day's work.
Like I said.
Yes. So I was there. I have a room in my house as my home studio where I do my things. And I was there one evening, and there was my wife pressing her phone. And that is almost like a national anthem in this part of the world. Our phone is everything. So she was just there, caught in the act. She was just there pressing her phone after the day's work. And at the end of the day, I turned the
Did she know you were making a drawing of her? Did she actually pose for it, or
she didn't pose for it?
You just caught it. It was just.
I caught it.
That's beautiful.
Most of my references, most of my ideas, I get because I'm also someone who is very domesticated. I'm home when I'm not at work.
I love it. That's the word. It's domestic. That is exactly what it is. There are other paintings there of the lady with glasses and the other one, absolutely beautiful as well. I love the abstract around these paintings, especially the lady in the scarf. They look like hieroglyphics of some sort.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hieroglyphics is picture writing. And also, if you look at the background of most of my works, there are some African motifs there.
Motifs, yes.
There is a particular, because I also read, there's a particular, we have the Yoruba art, you have some kind of art from Benin, and you have the Igbo people with their art. And the Calabar people, there's a particular name that is given to this scribbling, Unzibidi symbols. Unzibidi symbols.
Okay.
But see, these Unzibidi symbols, when you see them, they look like images, but some of them actually have their connotations and their meanings.
Nice.
So now, because I'm someone who gravitates a lot towards portraiture, so when people see my work, you don't think that it's somebody's face. So, and also in the world of art, one thing that could give you an identity and introduce you to the future to the public very easily is when you're able to create an identity for yourself.
Nice.
So I asked myself today, what identity do you want to create for yourself when you do this work? So I started infusing all these images and symbols into my work.
Absolutely beautiful. Listen, your artwork is more than meets the eye, just as you are more than meets the eye. Painter, writer, author, everything. I mean, you are authentically a full package. Thank you very much, Mr. Alaila, for coming over again and bringing us into your world of art. These are very beautiful. And because you've been here before and now again, I can't let you just leave like that. I want to give you something special.
Wow.
I want to give you a tour into northern Nigeria, and I want you to experience it in taste. So I'm going to bring you over to the kitchen to have what it is we've been cooking all morning, and you enjoy that. Is that okay?
Very okay, thank you.
Let me bring you over already. And welcome back inside the kitchen here. Mr. Tunde, this is Chef Tolu. This is what we have toiled all morning to put together. Myself, Tolu, and Mike. Yes, I'll give Mike some credit because he started it out.
As
Mike,
you know, this came out real well.
They did, didn't it? Yeah, thank you very well. On behalf of Chef Tolu, thank you very much. But Chef,
I'm happy to hear that. Thank you.
Tell our guest what it is we've prepared so he is intimated with exactly what it is.
Okay, good morning again. Good morning. So here we have masa.
Masa, you call it?
Masa, yes. Indigenous to northern Nigeria, the Hausa ethnic group to be precise.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
You spoke about masa.
Yes.
I am from the West. I hear mosa. So are they related in any way?
So it's actually called masa. But I'm sure maybe pronunciation when it comes here and then it's but actually M-A-S-A, so it's masa. Yeah, and it's also called waina.
Waina.
In some parts of the north.
We would really love to know what you think about it. So please do that. You can use your hands actually, but we provided cutlery, but we need to be quick. So please go ahead, dig in and tell us what you think about it. I would have used my hands because I like masa. Tear it open.
Traditionally, it's eaten with the hands.
Yeah, exactly. So tell us what you think real quick. Oh, you could just, tear it open and taste the sauce. Yes, you got it. Yes, you get it. You got it.
Masa was properly done.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Go ahead, taste
So
it.
dip it in the sauce, sir.
Dip it in the sauce. So have some sauce with it.
Yeah.
This looks so big.
Okay.
You're so clinical.
Yeah.
There you go. So while our guest is tasting this, we'll give you an idea what it tastes like when we taste it and let you know. Or maybe he can let you know already.
Let us know. What do you think? You like it? Love it?
I love it.
Great. Well done, Chef Tolu. And to all our guests, thank you so much for being on the show today. Till tomorrow, 7 a.m. right here with you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.